Okay, I'm going to explain how I compressed some live drum tracks in a variety of ways and explain the desired result. I'm working in Studio One, 2, and here if you follow the cursor you can see two overhead drum tracks that I'm going to be working with. Let me rewind the track a little bit there, get to a good spot. Okay, so although this is a compressor that is inserted into the drum bus, although there is a preset for overheads, I wanted to customize this so that, first of all, this is a rock track, and I wanted to squeeze the dynamic range to raise the overall level of the track. We don't need to hear a lot of subtleties in this. We just need the drums to project. So one way to do that is to set the threshold lower so that the compressor kicks in earlier, and to raise the ratio of compressed signal to uncompressed. And you can see in the graph here that most of the compression kicks in early and high. I can also drag that to a lower threshold and higher ratio if I want. So the threshold here is left to right. The ratio is top to bottom. And that makes it very easy for sort of auditioning the compressor to find the right amount of compression. So I'm going to play the track and hopefully you can hear that effect. So there's very low threshold, or so the compression really isn't kicking in. If I make the threshold even lower, compression kicks in earlier. If I raise the ratio, we're squeezing the dynamic range, and the drum track is in effect getting louder. Okay, also available here is knee control. I'm going to prefer a soft knee so it sounds natural. So if I turn that up, you can see the graph here flattens out at that point, at that threshold point. So I'll go somewhere in between, a soft-ish knee, so to speak. I have the look ahead, so it can kind of predict transients. I have that turned on. I could turn that on or turn it off. I'm going to leave it on. You really can't hear the difference in the track so much, especially the way I'm recording this. Because this is, transients that are fast and short, they're drum signals. I want the attack and release to be short and punchy. So I'm going to lower that attack time. I'm going to lower that release time. And you can see that in the graph over here, the volume graph, especially if I play some of the track back. So let me play that. You can see over here the level is not peaking out because the attack is set to kick in quickly. So it's a short attack. If I increase the attack time, it doesn't respond to the transients as quickly, and I start to get peaking on these meters, which is something that I really don't want to do. So I'm going to shorten that attack time, and I'm going to leave the release time where it is, a relatively short release time, because it is a drum track and we want that punchy sound. So I hope you enjoyed that review of my compressor on the drums here in Studio One 2. As I mentioned, my desired effect was to raise the level of the drum track without it peaking, so I squeezed the dynamic range using the appropriate ratio and threshold. I lowered the threshold and I raised the ratio a little bit, even more than the preset that PreSonus had given me. I wanted a soft knee, so I set that knee control so that there was not so much of an angle in here, so you can't really hear the compressor kicking in. We have the look ahead turned on, and I went for a low or a short attack and release time, so we got that punchy sound that we want on the drums, and stopped the too much of the transient from peaking out. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you were able to hear the drum tracks when I played them. Thanks for listening.